And Otty, what about you? I know that you made the transition from basketball into singing.
Yeah.
Were you a byproduct of the lack of facilities, age 19 or 20, or was it just that you wanted to sing?
Do you know, it was a large contributor to it was actually injuries.
Right.
If I'm honest, I had 4 knee surgeries in the end, so that didn't help.
Okay.
But it kind of reached a point where I just knew that longer term, I think I had more in music than I was going to have in basketball.
Okay.
I didn't have to stop as early as I stopped.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why I certainly still miss it.
Yeah.
But I knew that longer term, music is where it was going to be headed.
Now, Otty, I know that you have a gig coming up.
Yes, I do.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I do. We are going to be headlining at the Elgin in Ladbroke Grove on the 27th of March.
Brilliant stuff.
I'll be there with pretty much my full band, actually, so it should be a great evening.
And in terms of your songs, have you written them all yourself, or are there a few covers in there?
I write all of my songs, but we might throw in 1 or 2 covers in there as well.
Okay.
It's always nice just to spice up the set.
Don't mean to put you on the spot.
Sure.
But could you give us a little song?
What would you want to hear?
Well, maybe what's your favourite song? The song that you wrote with much passion?
I sing everything. But do you want an original or do you want a cover?
We want an original.
Like, what's the song that you would want, that you might know?
Something that you would sing to someone that you really loved.
Ooh.
To your wife or girlfriend. Your partner. Take it away.
All right. To my wife or my girlfriend, I'll say, I am so in love with you.
Great song.
Whatever you want to do is all right with me. That's what I'd sing.
Fantastic. My chair would definitely be turning, I'm telling
thank
you.
you very much.
I would be turned on that one.
Thank you, Rita.
Fantastic. All right. Tell us a little bit about The Voice and what happened after that and what your plans are now.
The Voice was a wonderful experience. It was probably about 6 months long in total, where we had to go back and forth meeting various producers, judges, auditions, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we were very well treated, you know, and it was just wonderful to kind of put yourself out there in that way.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people see it and they're like, my gosh, how do you handle the pressure?
Yeah.
And certainly there is a degree of pressure to it, but you see it as any other kind of stage. Being on a basketball court is a stage. And so you kind of just use that experience that you've had. I find it more pressure when you're playing in front of 10,000 people and they have an expectation of you to score 20 points or whatever, and you know, in a big game, than going to sing a song which I love, and ultimately you can sing it any way you like. You'll come back next time, you sing it again.
Yeah.
With basketball, if you don't score your 20 points, they might not give you the contract next year.
That is true.
So yeah, it was a wonderful experience. But post that now is just about, you know, obviously continuing to push on. It's great that you have a new fan base to an extent, and would love to see them at the next gig. But generally, just keep doing much of the same. Trying to promote your work, record new material, be in the studio with as many different artists as possible, just collaborating, and continuing to build the brand. So that's what it's about.
But it's a team. I mean, you are Otty Warmann, and you can check out Otty's music at ottymusic.com.
That's correct, yeah.
But I guess, you know, same as basketball, you're working with a team. There's all those people behind it that you never really see, like the coaches, you know. You never really see that hard work until, you know, you're there and you get the finished product. Yeah,
do you know, I once drove past a billboard which said something along the lines of, I wonder how many nights there are before you became an overnight success. You know, and for many people, when they do finally get to see you, they're like, oh, this person came from nowhere.
Of course.
But, you know, we all know that there's a lot of work which is going on behind the scenes, and it takes a lot of years, it takes a lot of no's, it takes a lot of failure and mistakes usually before you're going to get to where you're trying to go. But as we mentioned earlier, when you're passionate about something, it's the same principle, whether it's basketball, whether it's music, you just continue to press on and it's okay. Pick yourself up.
And much the same as we say about basketball, the discipline, the failures, the wins, the fails, the crying, the tears, the laughter.
Well, we have a thing, we say, and we stole this from somebody else, and I forget who we stole it from. We say, fail forward. You know, if you want to take a step forward, you have to take a knock backwards first, you know, and that kind of, you know, break you down to build you up stronger kind of thing. But, you know, in relation to the team, like you said, I think the team behind the teams, like you mentioned, is so important. And I'm talking about the parents and the teachers that do open the gyms in the morning for these kids, and the positive friendship groups that, you know, continue to encourage their friends to stay in the sport and succeed. those kind of teams are so important. You know, the coaches will do their jobs because that's their job.
Yeah.
To what level it varies, of course, but you know, them teams behind the teams,
Yeah.
it's not possible without them.
Very true.
You know?